So I couldn't help myself. I had to make an episode 12 part 2 video about the beautiful, amazing scenes with Yoo Ra and Ki-Hoon. Okay, so for once, we're only talking about Yoo Ra and Ki-Hoon. Now, the relationship, if you remember, if you've watched this before, it's been brewing for a long time. And it's clear that Yoo Ra has always had a crush on Ki-Hoon and really likes him, despite everything that's been happening. At the same time, she also is very angry, I guess, at him. And he obviously feels very guilty, and he's been pushing her away. But now recently he has tried to support her in any way possible. So he's been teaching her swear words and what to do. But he's never really fully acknowledged what actually happened that time. So this is when he's just had a fight with her current director. And now we get to the scene where he totally reveals the brutal truth exactly about what drove maybe that bullying that he was doing at the time when they were shooting together. So let's have a look at this amazing scene.
10년 전에 너랑 찍던 그 영화 찍으면서 알았어. 망했다. 큰일 났다.
And it's really driven because he's just had this exchange with this other movie director and, you know, told him the truth. So now he's trying to also be brutally honest with her about his own abusive behavior, maybe as a director in the past. So when he starts here, you can tell it's not easy for him, but he's just ready to tell the truth.
찍어서 걸면 100% 망하고 난 제기도 못할 것 같았어. 난 그냥 어쩌다 천재로 추앙받는 거라는 거 알았어.
And it's so typical, and it's so true as well, since this is sort of my world. If you have a lucky break and you get something where everybody thinks, wow, you're great or whatever, it gets really worrying what you follow it up with. So people don't think it's a fluke, right? And so this makes a lot of sense because I've worked on things that were just somehow worked out really great, but then the director or the people involved couldn't back it up with the next thing. So this is very true to life.
다시는 영화 못 찍고 굶어 죽어도 천재로 남고 싶었어. 그래서 네 탓하기로 한 거야.
And this honesty has been the most honest that he's ever been with her, because even though he's been pushing her away and he talks like he's very honest to people, or like he acts like he's the most honest because he gets angry all the time, he calls that honesty. This is the actual honesty that is really revealing. You have to be very, very honest with yourself to get this honest, to admit such horrible thinking and such horrible behavior about yourself. And he does it because he wants her to understand that it's not her fault.
내가 구박하면 할수록 네가 벌벌 떨면서 엉망으로 연기하는 거 보면서 나 안심했어. 더 망가져라.
You know, I love this actress actually. She's doing amazing in this drama, Kwon Nara, because she's created a character that is clearly meant to be bipolar, and that comes across completely. She really reminds me of an ex-girlfriend of mine, to be honest, and so for her character is very plausible. So everything that she's gone through so far, it all makes sense, really. But I love how still she is here and how she's just taking this in on so many levels. And we'll see in a minute how it affects her, really.
살 새끼들도 치사한 게 당할 애 알아봐. 조지면 망가질 애 알아본다고.
This is very true, actually, that when you have issues with yourself, with your self-esteem, when you feel bad about yourself, you tend to basically want to make other people responsible for it, or you want to let it out on other people to make yourself feel better somehow, to not acknowledge that it's actually your fault. So it's incredibly hard to always be really honest with yourself when it's, whenever you're unhappy, it's like it's your own problem, really, isn't it? And so we want to blame other people for it. And it's true that in many situations, social situations, specifically in a movie or something, you tend to, there is this tendency to pick on the weak people that are too soft to kind of fight back. And so, yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
너 찍혔어. 그 새끼한테 희생타로 찍혔어. 왜 거기서 찍혀?
But it's very moving that he finally gets to this point to tell her this, because this is what she needed to hear all this time, really, that he would find a way to truly apologize to her.
그때 네가 나한테 대들고 찍어 눌렀으면 나 이 지경까지 안 왔어. 내가 너한테 그렇게 하고 지상 빤스 같은 내가 너무 싫어서 그냥 내가 스스로 알아서 망가져 산 거야.
And so true as well, like the self-hatred that comes with doing things like that. It's hard to, when you know yourself enough to see through your own bullshit, it's really hard to keep ignoring it without somehow, in an alternative way, giving yourself hell for it. And so this also makes sense, what he says.
망가지자, 벌 주자, 치사한 이 밖에 이 새끼.
And also, actually, it just struck me that this also means, in a way, that probably he knew that she liked him at the time as well. It's hard to miss that. But also, imagine the worst situation if you're an actress is if you actually also like the director, if you're like attracted to them, and at the same time he's bullying you. I guess that's how you get into really abusive relationships. It's incredibly hard, especially in a professional environment, like as an actress, you're very exposed all the time, and you really need support a lot. You need somebody to tell you things are going great and, help you to feel good. So you're in an extremely weak position if you're also attracted to the director, but at the same time, he is criticizing you all the time or bullying you or whatever. It's like, yeah, this is horrible.
여기까지 불러온 거야. 어이없어라. 지금 내 탓하는 거예요?
But I love that she, through her tears, she, like how it's scripted, that she's like, there's still some sort of level of, playfulness between them at this stage, because they have this great way of communicating in a way.
앞으로 너한테 뭐라고 하는 새끼를 그냥 다 죽여. 뒤는 내가 책임져.
This was very moving when I watched it the first time, and every time when I'm really watching it, because I think we all want to be as honest as this, but very often we manage to lie to ourselves harder so that we can't be this honest about our dark instincts at times. I'm sure I've been in situations where I've probably acted in similar ways, maybe not, you know, as extreme as this, but in my whole life, I'm sure there are times when I have subconsciously maybe deflected from my own insecurities by being more mean to other people, and it's a great scene to bring that home. Actually, she does such an amazing job, I have to say. I heard that maybe a few people didn't like her acting in this or something, or thought the character wasn't real. I think this is beautifully observed and beautifully acted. It clearly is a person with bipolar disorder, for my layman's understanding. And I definitely recognize the mood swings and the extreme euphoria, and also the lovability and the excitedness and the excitement that somebody like her can bring. At the same time, the depression and the slight lack of clear thinking, you know, really reminds me of somebody. But it makes for amazing drama. But I think what she goes through in this drama as an actress is incredible, you know, and this continues with the next scene. In true Yoo Ra fashion, she is in a state, crying in her pajamas or whatever, and just going for it. I have to say, I mean, people like her are hard work, but also incredibly exciting to be around. And this is so great. They're just talking about these actors, and in she comes, and they're just saying, oh, she looks like, I think Joey Wong. I don't actually know her. And she comes in, and we have this scene coming up. It's just so well done. I love it. Making me teary-eyed, and everybody's pretending that nothing is happening because it's just her. But yeah. I have to say, his brother's reactions are always great. They add so much to the scenes. Also, when she comes into their shop and stuff like that, his reactions are always so great. Like, because he's always sort of trying to be the nice one when Ki-Hoon is mean to her. And yeah, it's just how it all fits together. It's great. This is so brilliantly done. It goes from that to this. I'll dump you I'll kill you if you dump me first. I love how they just cut to this right now. No more explanation needed. We know what's happening. And I love how they're already like bantering again. They have this beautiful way of communicating with each other, which is just unique to them. And this is all, you know, down to the writing, of course, because the writing is just so excellent that all the characters, nobody speaks in cliches. They kind of just have a real personality, and it's beautifully acted by these two. 넌 여배우고 100% 네가 먼저 차. And again, this theme of janitor and actress, you know, social status, that's his big thing, isn't it? That's the big thing for them going forward from here. And it's so sad that that's a problem in a way for their relationship, because they obviously love each other.
진짜 먼저 차지 마라.
서로 먼저 차지 말기. 약속.
And it's nice. You know, she's the kind of character, when she starts smiling, everybody else gets happy, right? And it's very true. And she has this sort of air about her, which personally I also love when I've encountered it in women in the past. And so I've certainly had a few, ex-girlfriends with, well, a lot of emotions going on, let's say it like that. Yeah, there's something that's incredibly lovable about when somebody is so out there and a little bit crazy. She just plays it so well. And fun fact, I did know her from Itaewon class. I watched that before my mister, actually, and I did not recognize her when I watched this year. And that's quite incredible, because she obviously looks exactly the same, but the character is just so different, and she plays this so uniquely that I did not recognize her.
결혼은 힘들 거예요.
나 그 정도로 양심 없진 않다.
The dialogue is so sweet here. Honestly, sweet is the right word. Come on, Ki-Hoon, don't be so silly.
왜 그래?
Clearly he hasn't been with a woman for a long time, so otherwise he needs to get used to that first. So yeah, these two scenes, I just think they are just very beautiful and beautifully acted and just really incredible and worth showing and discussing a little bit. I just think the characterizations, both of them, their story, their love story, is just so unique and so beautifully done. And has so much depth and history, obviously, that needs to be worked out. Beautifully written, I think, by the writer. And yeah, I think, you know what, Kwon Nara in this one does amazing, and Ji-hoon as well. Obviously, he's got a lot of issues to work through. They both have, but like everybody else in this drama, they start to help each other work through their issues individually by, being honest and showing what's actually going on inside. So amazing scenes, amazing relationship. They should have their own drama, to be honest. If there was a spin-off I would want to watch, it would be this relationship between them. Subscribe if you are not a subscriber yet, if you enjoyed this video, you want more breakdowns like this. And I'll see you in episode 13.